Hi learners, welcome back. In this session, we are going to see the contributions of Henri Fayol to the modern management. Henri Fayol was a French mining engineer and management theorist who made significant contribution to the field of management and administration. Actually, the Fayol's work laid the foundation for many of the modern principles and functions of management. And his famous 14 principles of management or fundamental concepts that he outlined in his book General and Industrial Management in 1960. And of course, we are going to see all these 14 principles in this session. The first principle is all about the division of work. So it's also known as the principle of specialization and suggests that tasks should be divided and assigned to specific individuals or groups. So he says that the work has to be divided. Instead of a single person is carrying out all the activities, the work has to be divided among the people. So only then we can ensure that the people are being specialized in particular job. For example, manufacturing a table. So if an individual, if is given with the task of manufacturing a total table, and he'll be first manufacture with the plate and legs and painting, varnishing. If he does all the job by himself, the specialization may not occur. But instead, one individual is given with the developing the wood plate, and the second is given with the task of coming with the legs, and another person is coming with the task of painting, varnishing, and so on, so polishing, packaging. So each and every individual, the work is divided. So definitely, then when they're repeatedly doing that, they can be very master the particular work. So he advocates this particular principle, division of work. Instead of seeing it as a total, if you're able to break it up and allocate each break or each part of work to one particular individual and make them to work on that particular work alone, definitely become specialist in the particular job. This is how he advocates. One is division of work. And he talks on the second principle about the authority. Because every managers or every people they are given with the responsibility. But to execute the responsibility, they need the authority. If they're not having the authority, and definitely the things may not happen. Right. So the manager must be given with the proper authority. They have to deliver the authority so that they could able to give orders. They can make the people to work accordingly, and they can see that organized objectives are met. The second principle is about authority, and that is the parity between authority and responsibility. Thus, he has to ensure that. And the third one is about the discipline. He ensures that employees must follow company rules and regulations, must abide the guidelines given by the company. They should see to that they're not deviating from that. And this particular discipline ensures that everyone is working towards common goals and objectives. Right? So how the people should behave, how they have to conduct themselves. If discipline lacks in the employees, definitely that will not be good for the organization. So he says that employees, not only employees, almost everybody in the organization should be very disciplined in their approach and should see to that they are working in tandem to achieve the organization goal. This is the yet another principle. And the fourth one is unity of command. Here he says that an employee should have only one boss. Okay, that cannot be two bosses for one employee, right? So he should be able to receive order from only one individual so that there will not be any role conflict, there will not be any performance conflict, and even sometimes what happens now, either of the tasks the particular individual may not do good, right? So he says that so only one person for one, I mean one boss for one employee, and of course this is the basic founding principles of building an organization structure. Also, when you are establishing the hierarchical relationship, we should see to that the particular individual is responsible or answerable or accountable to one particular boss alone, not to the two different people. Right? And another principle is unity of directions. Okay, so people are performing, people are doing all the activities in the organization. But whatever the activity they are doing, whatever the performance they are doing, they should ensure that it is always aligned with the goals of the organization. It always to fulfill the objectives of the organization. So all the individuals, all the workforce objectives must align with the objectives of the organization. That is why everyone should move in one particular direction. It's not that one department is moving one direction, another department performance is making the company to move in the another direction, and nowhere the company will go. So if at all the company has to force it further, if they develop further, progress further, all must work in tandem and towards one specific particular objective. So that is the concept related to unity of direction, people's movement towards one particular common thing. And subordination of individual interests. Every individuals working in the organization, they may have their own agenda. They may have their own personal preferences. They have their own interests. But when it comes into work, they should treat that company stands first, then the people next. That is the attitude that people should have. That's what he is advocating more here. Okay, so subordination of individual interest. Whenever the situation arises, whatever the condition arises, the people should give more preference to the company rather than the personal growth or personal comfort or whatever it may be. So that is the concept this principle is talking about, the subordination of individual interest to the common interest. Right. And the other thing is that remuneration. He says that the manager should see that employees should be able to receive fair compensation for their work, considering market rates and the organization financial capacity. Right. So because only for this the people come first. Right. The rest of things are other things. So this is for their livelihood, for the salary, for the perks, for the remuneration. Only the people are coming here. So here the manager should ensure that. Okay, so we have a good remuneration system, remuneration policies, and payment policies, other things and all, and we have to ensure this thing happens. So this will motivate, directly motivate, and that they also motivate the employees to perform better when they are getting the salary packages that's on par with the industry standards. Right. So there is another principle that is being promoted by Henry Fayol. Then he says centralization. Okay, centralization or decentralization, but how we are going to concentrate this decision-making power, right? So because decision-making is very crucial, but how you are going to make it happen, right? So whether you are going to hold all the power to make the decision, or you are going to share the decision-making power to other people, that you have to decide. He talks on that, but it all depends upon the nature of industry. It all depends on the nature of the task. This decision-making, this centralization or decentralization can be decided. But he says that certain things you have to centralize, right? For I mean, for making it much more transparent, or to ensure the fairness, or sometimes to make the quick decision. So centralized it may possible. But for some cases, decentralization where you don't have much what is a role, or which is not so important, or some routine work, this also has to be decentralized. That is the idea propounded by Henry Fayol in this paper. Centralization, decentralization of power or decision-making power so as to run the organization's function more smoothly. And another principle, what he has found, that is a scalar check. He says that there should be a clear and unbroken chain of authority from the top of the organization to the lowest level. So this ensures that communication decision making flows smoothly. So when you are establishing a hierarchical relationship, building an organization structure, he says that everyone must be connected with some point. So there must be a clear flow of authority, a clear flow, whether it is upward or downward, what it may be, the flow of authority must be clearly stated. There should not be any broken chain, or there should not be any gap. Should be, I mean, all these things should be avoided. So when such things are ensured, and definitely this, whether making people to be accountable, making people to be responsible, or flow of authority, everything can be made possible when you follow this principle in the organization. And another principle is about the order. Right? He simply says that in an organization, for each and everything, there must be a place, and those things must be in that particular place. This is what the basic crux of this principle, right? So because he insists on the organized workplace. So organized workplace always increases efficiency and productivity of the people. When it is not organized, when it's so clumsy, though the people are much more talented and competent and skilled enough, but when the workplace is not so ordered, in order, definitely their productivity may not be at the good place. So he says, as a manager, if the organization efficiency should go up, see to that everything is in order. So that is a principle proposed by Henry Fayol. And he says that equity is another basic principle for any manager. That is, managers should treat employees fairly and with kindness. Fair treatment contributes to employee satisfaction and motivation. Right? So there must not be any unbiased, or there must be any a negative attitude towards the different people. The manager should not treat others based on their race, the gender, the and community, whatever it may be, where he comes from, doesn't should not follow all those things, right? So he has to keep everybody in the same place, same fair, and they have to treat them fairly. So that is the equity is the another principle propounded by Henry Foy. That stability of tenure. He says that so employee turnover always is a big problem for the any company, and the company also should ensure that the people are given with a more chances or freedom to perform, right? Because some people may not perform immediately, but when you give some over, I mean, a space for some time, when you give some freedom for some longer period, suddenly the employee may start to perform well, right? And moreover, if the employee feels that always he is, I mean, his position is not so stable or his schedule can be cut off anything, so he cannot able to give his best performance to the organization. So he says that employee should get a good amount of time to go for stamina, should to prove his mettle or to continue his performance. So that is the principle of stability of tenure. Then he says initiative, right? So manager should have the ability or the manager should follow the principle that the employee should be motivated. They have to be encouraged, right? I mean, to come with their creative approach to take some initiative in their work. Right. It is not that the people should say and let me do it, but whatever the things they say, others say, let me do it. When they say, I will do it. If the employee is having such attitude, it is not good for the organization. So the employee should be more creative and they should initiate the things, right, on their own. So that will do good for the organization, right? So, and of course, such attitude may improve the innovation and improvements in the organization performance. So that is another principle what he has covered. And the last component, the last principle, what he suggests is about the esprit de corps. Okay, meaning that the team building. He says that only a cooperative workplace can give a better results. It is a collaborative performance only will lead to the organization success. An individual cannot an individual alone cannot make the organization so successful. So teamwork must be there. People should have the feeling that they are working in a team, so they are belongs to a team, so they could able to get better results for the organization. So team spirit is more crucial for better organization performance. So these are the 14 principles given by Henry Foyle, and if the modern managers could able to apply these 14 principles, definitely their productivity and efficiency of the organization performance will definitely go up. Okay, dear learners, hope you could have got some idea about this 14 principles proposed by Henry Foyle. In the next class, we'll be having input on the human relations movement with a better input. So if you could able to want to add something with this video, try to put it across in the inbox. And thanks for watching. Happy learning. Thank you.